I am Miriam and welcome to Women's World. Here on Women's World, we love promoting the good work which is carried out by women here in the country, together with initiatives that support the development of our women and girls here in PNG. One of these initiatives being the Like Him Sister program, a pilot program which was held last year, bringing together women from different communities here within PNG, together with women from the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community. Therefore, in this episode, we will be sharing with you insights in regards to what the Like Him Sister program is about. We will be speaking to two representatives, two women who participated in the program, together with words from the CEO of the Difference Incubator. The Like Him Sister program, a first of its kind which was designed with the aim to reigniting trade and knowledge sharing in traditional foods and medicines, cultural tourism and creative industries between PNG, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesswomen. 18 women were brought together to forge deep people-to-people connections and trust, which ultimately enable trade outcomes.
Well, I have a couple of loves in my life. One is handmade items, the other is coffee. So I really enjoyed getting to see Lena and her work, and so when she's pulled out this suitcase of all these billums, I just was so excited because I knew that I had to take some gifts home for my family and keep one for myself. But you know, at this stage with my growing business, I'd like to explore how could I potentially supply into my own shop. You know, Stradbroke is a growing ecotourism destination, so we're going to have a lot more people come over. It's very busy in summer. People look at my bag and say, "Where did you get that from? Did you make?" I'm like, "No, it's, you know, a friend that's in PNG," and so I know that they would go well. So for me, if I could work that out, I'd love to be able to do something like that. Seeing Nellie and her business and hearing her stories with the coffee, you know, I bought quite a bit of her coffee and I shared that around with family and friends. And you know, I don't know where that's going to lead, but for me, that's to be able to say, you know, your product is beautiful, it's been appreciated. We saved it for Christmas Day as presents, and I think with Taboo, like, we both handprint our work, and the comments that I get back on my work is it's a piece of art in itself. So, you know, just sharing that information, like staying on that handmade, keeping it in that special space where not a lot of artists that I know, you know, some go towards that digital printing, sublimation, which takes something away from your work. I don't know, that's my personal opinion. Yeah, so it's being in the same industry, you know, sharing our opinions on that, I think, can only support. And I don't know if it's public knowledge yet, but Taboo did share with me that she's doing the PNG Olympic Games walk-in costume, and she's going to hand print all of the fabric. So that's amazing. So excited for her. I'm part of the Southeast Queensland Indigenous Chamber of Commerce, and they have more like sort of one-day workshops or programs. And we have a networking group too that meet once a month. So it's more that kind of really short, sharp type of involvement, whereas this over a long term, I haven't had anything over an extended period. With TDI, so I got to know them through Ash. Ash I'd met previously at a function in Brisbane, and so when Ash invited me, I thought, this is a whole week out of my program, my work program. I barely even take lunch breaks, so for me to commit to something like this, it has to be worthwhile. And so I looked through the program, I talked to Ash, and for me it was like, I can see it being of benefit because you're extending your network, you're spending time with each other, and that's where I think change can happen. That's where your learning can happen. You know, you do a lot of that sort of early learning at uni or whatever, as like in your business, you don't usually get these chances to do this. So I think it is a unique meeting point, you know, 2 full weeks over 6 months, and then a connection through the WhatsApp has been great. So that ongoing relationship, and then now we're working out, okay, what can we do to keep this alive? And I think some of it will drive itself because it has been in depth enough for us to trust each other and invest in each other like that. I love that it's direct, but it's gentle as well. With the you know, that's led by women. TDI is led by women, and with the best intentions. You know, that we've all been brought together, and I know that there will be more to come.
You are watching Women's World. Please stay with us, as up next we speak to Nelly Warmari of Mirigeta Coffee here within the central province of PNG with her story.
My name is Nelly Warmari. I come from mixed parentage from Papua New Guinea. My mom comes from the 4 provinces of Papua New Guinea, which is Morobe Province, East Sepik Province, Oro Province, and Gulf Province. And my dad from East New Britain, and partly West New Britain. So I come from 6 provinces of Papua New Guinea. The 3 of my mom's provinces are around the Owen Stanley Range. They're connected to the Owen Stanley Range where the coffee comes from. Yeah. And my company name is called Central Dakis Mamina Trading. Dakis represents my 3 children, Darusila, Kingsford, and Israelin. Yeah, it's 100% family SME business, but it's more community-based because we did it to help the community that we come from. It's very remote. The 3 provinces that my mom comes from, it's just like my husband's village, where there's no roads, no transport services can, you know, reach the village, and there's no schools and aid posts and supermarkets, pharmacy, you know, people need that. And we travel, we climb the mountains and cross the rivers. It's very risky, but we have no choice. So working in the coffee industry for a good number of years with PNG Coffee and Superior Coffee, I decided to come out with what I can do with what I have back in the provinces that I come from, including my husband's place. My company name is Central Dakis Mamina Trading, and we do the downstream processing of coffee from the southern region of Papua New Guinea. Okay, I've been doing this coffee business for over 18 months, and it's 100% family business. I'm here to attend the Like Him Sisters projects, meetings and trainings to learn more from my counterparts and also from the organizers. The most powerful moments are the sharing of cultural beliefs and ideas on how to, you know, prepare food and things like that. I've learned a lot from there, and also getting us connected to the international market. The challenges I go through is being a woman in the male-dominated industry, and sometimes I'm bullied on, but that doesn't push me back, you know. I use that as a stepping stone and I move forward. And running the business with no capital is really tough. So I just wish I get some funds somewhere to boost what I'm doing. because I still don't have a car. I still travel on PMV buses. And there's people looking at me and saying, wow, look at this businesswoman, carrying the coffee in her hands, the cartons, and taking. I hear them from one ear and let them go out the other ear and say, I'll have it soon. I won't give up, and I'll stand on my toes until I have the vehicle. I am responsible because I do the downstream processing myself and packaging and everything. I do it myself. I haven't settled down yet, yeah, but I bought a piece of land which I'm really working hard to see what I can do with infrastructure so that I can have a proper setup, and then I can get the boys to, you know, do whatever that needs to be done so I can be at least free in some other things, so I can concentrate more on other things. But right now I'm doing everything from A to Z. I go in the bush, I have a chat with farmers, I train them on rehabilitation, how to look after the coffee cherries, the trees, fermentation, and then the parchments to me, and then I take on from the parchments into green beans, into roasting, packaging, and even into the cups. I also give training, free training, to those who buy the machine and the coffee from me, so they can start up their own coffee shops. Yeah. And I've helped youths, unemployed youths also. I get them to assist me on my exhibitions, and then I give them references, and I have a couple of them working in cafes already, and restaurants and hotels, so yeah. Growing up as a little girl in Papua New Guinea is really tough, you know, because most Papua New Guineans and most customs, they want boys to go get education and not women. But I thank God my dad gave us the advantage, and, you know, he went against the customs and things like that. This is modern world, and I need my girls to get educated. Yeah, I went through tough times, but I was privileged growing up with my grandparents, and that's what I'm privileged. That's growing up with my grandparents made me to be a tough girl. Yeah, so every time I come across challenges with men, I know where to stand, I know what to say. But when I'm overpowered, that's the problem. You know, as a human, I feel emotional and I cry too, but I try my best to pull myself together. But one thing good about Papua New Guineans is we are sticky beaks. And when we see something's not right, when someone's not happy, we step in there and see what we can do. And this is what happens. I have friends who step in to advise and encourage me and push me forward. Yeah. And like him, sister is something that's very unique I've come across too. Yeah. With the big challenges in the male-dominated industry in coffee, it's really tough, but I have these sisters from like him sister that send me text messages, even they are far from me, but they send me messages, they give me phone calls and tell me to stand up and fight on. And it has made me to be a strong woman, and that's why it has brought me out here. And I know I'm a living testimony, and I'm an example to the other women back in the country. And I know when I go back, I'll inspire them with what I learned from here. I believe there should be more women entrepreneurs, because from my experience, I help. Right now in Papua New Guinea, we have so many unemployed children and children who are not going to school. And what I do has helped many children on the streets. So I believe more women should go into entrepreneurships. As mothers, we know how to take care of the children, so we can take care of the children on the streets and give them opportunity, give them a life. And what I see TDI is doing is very good, because they are helping us women entrepreneurs to, you know, they are just like a stepping stone for us, which is very good, and I feel so blessed having TDI coming into my life, my business, and my family's even happy about TDI. Yeah, so I feel, and I really would like TDI to continue with what they're doing, not only with us, but other women entrepreneurs in Papua New Guinea also. Because but I don't, from my experience, I've never got through to experience something from my country like what TDI is doing. I struggle alone. As a woman entrepreneur, I do everything on my own with no assistance. Even the government knows what I'm doing. Even the parliamentarians know what I do. They even tasted the coffee. They even buy coffee from me. But no one has stepped in to do what TDI is doing. And I just wish TDI continues to do this. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry about this. There are women out there who really admire what I do. Being, in the male-dominated industry, I never gave up since day one. And coming out here and sharing my experience on, social media, my friends, my sisters out there inboxing me and said, "Wow, this is really nice. You've climbed the stairs and you're already there. How come, how did you go there? How did you manage to, be involved in, these things?" And so I told them it's about the Like Him Sisters project, and I asked them to get in touch with Jane and Lady T to get more information on how they can get involved. And I wish TDI continues so that those out there can join in the next meetings like this and trainings. Yeah.
What an extraordinary story by Nelly. Please stay with us as up next we speak to the CEO of the Difference Incubator, Anthea Smith, who will be sharing with us insights in regards to the Like Him Sister program.
Hi, my name's Anthea Smith. I'm the CEO at the Difference Incubator, TDI, and the co-facilitator of the Like Him Sister program.
Okay, thank you. So could you briefly just share with us the main underlying reason as to why the Like Him Sister program was created and how through this program it would benefit the lives of women who are engaged in this in the program or who are engaged in SME initiatives?
So Like Him Sister was created to support women entrepreneurs with a focus on creative industries, cultural tourism, and traditional food. And at the core of the program, there's this recognition of the knowledge sharing and trading relationship that exists between the top end of Australia and PNG. And it was really about reigniting those relationships in those three core industries. And as Like Him Sister emerged, there was a little poem that became like our mantra, or that I think really captures the spirit of what Like Him was about. And I'll just read that out. It says, "When I call another woman sis, I am establishing my identity with you as your team member, not your competition. We are all running this unfair race, and it's better that we run together." And for me, and I know for the Like Him Sisters, this became a mantra, a sense of the spirit of what Like Him was really all about.
Thank you. So does the program plan to be an annual event, or are there plans at the moment to have another hosted program like this in the future?
We'd love to run Like Him again, and it's our intention once borders reopen that we get access, that we'll be able to do that. And I think actually in the current environment, Like Him has as much, if not even more, relevance to women entrepreneurs and helping them build really good support networks.
Thank you. So what were some of the main focuses of the program and why?
Yeah, so there was in our design, the initial design of the program, there was a lot of thought done around the focus areas. And there was basically 3 key focus areas that created the platform for LICM. The first one was around creating a really intentional space for shared storytelling, and not just stories about their experiences in business, but stories about their culture, about their gender, around the challenges that they face as women entrepreneurs, and how they've overcome those at different times. And the importance of that storytelling is that creates a place of empathy, which builds trust and connection with people. The second thing was really around how do we expose these women to the markets that they will be selling into. This was really important. It's a really important part of the work that we do at TDI, is how do we expose the entrepreneurs that we're working with to the markets that they're selling into, so that they have this perspective and they're creating and building a business that is actually market accessible and market ready. And so we did that through a number of excursions that happened into retail outlets that were selling local product, and got the women to reflect on that product, the quality of the product, why different product may or may not be selling. The other part that we did is that we had guests that came in. So for example, one of the key areas is around tourism. And so we had someone from Carnival Cruises come in and speak to the women around how they develop onshore tours and what they're looking for in onshore tours, what's important to them and what their customer is looking for. We had an Australian Bilum buyer who buys Bilum out of PNG and sells it in actually all around the world. And so we had Carrie come in and talk to the women around what's important and why she buys particular Bilum, that sort of thing. So really that market exposure, which is so important to these women, and both in Australia and in PNG, so that they have this perspective of the market that they're selling into. And the third area was around business coaching and helping the participants reflect on their own business model. And this was done in 2 ways. It was done formally. We at TDI use a number of tools to help people reflect on their business models. And the other way that it was done is in a far more informal way, where the women, as they grew their relationships, began to talk about their own businesses and their own struggles within their business model and how they'd overcome those at different times. And so we tried to create that, both that formal platform that it happened through, but also that informal piece which happened through the storytelling.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Right.
So as an overall view, how would you say was the outcome of the LICM Sister pilot program, and what was one main outcome of the program?
Yeah, I think so we absolutely achieved all of those areas, creating access to market, helping people build and reflect on their business model, and creating the shared storytelling. But I think the most powerful thing that happened was those deep connections that happened across borders. And we're all in lockdown at the moment and our borders are closed to each other, but I know these women are talking to each other and encouraging each other through this time. And so I think that the most powerful outcome, and the one that will last, is those relationships that have been built. And out of that, there's trading relationships that are happening, and people continuing to share their experience and their knowledge.
Thank you so much for watching Women's World. Unfortunately, that is all we have for you in this episode. Remember, if you believe there is a story you would like to share with us, or if you would like to be featured here on our program, please contact us by sending us a message through the link that is appearing on your screen now. Also, simply by liking our Facebook page. Until next time, I am Miriam Rakrine. Please join me on the next episode of Women's World.